Chiefs and Bills from last night, and Kansas City leaning heavily on that ground game. When was the last time we said that? The rookie, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, star of the show, ran for a career-high 161 yards. Not the explosive Chiefs offense we've gotten used to seeing, but hey, if the ground game is working, stick with it, and that's what Andy Reid did. Chiefs handle the Bills on a rainy night in Buffalo. Start with you, Nick. You worried at all that the Chiefs aren't just blowing everyone out this season?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. You know
it's not college football, folks. It's not college football.
It's not.
The Chiefs have 5 wins this year. 4 of them have come by multiple scores. Those are blowouts by NFL standards. The only close win they have is the game that Wilds, I think, is counting as 3 separate losses, the game against the Chargers. And so, like, no, I'm not worried about it. I want to give Brandon credit on this point because we're going to just have to crush him on the Bills side of things. He was right that teams were going to try to follow the blueprint of rushing 3, dropping 8, and not letting Mahomes beat you. The problem with doing that, following that blueprint, is the Chiefs just said, okay, 7 yards per rush sounds pretty good. And the Chiefs, it seems like they didn't score a lot, but that's just because there weren't a lot of drives. They had 7 real drives. On those 7 drives, they got 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and they were forced to punt twice, the first drive of the game and the first drive of the second half. They moved the ball up and down the field at will, and when it got tight late, a couple key third downs, shocking no one at all, Patrick Mahomes made the critical play. A pass to Demarcus Robinson, and then a first down run with his feet. So, no, the Chiefs had 4 tough road games on their schedule. At Baltimore, double-digit win. At Buffalo, win by 2 scores. And then they have at Tampa and at New Orleans. We'll see how it goes. They're going to be 14-2, and y'all are still going to be asking me, should they have won by more points? So, no, Brandon. Chiefs fans should be nothing but thrilled that they now have the most wins of any team in the league, or tied for the most.
Yeah. You got me on the Buffalo thing. Who would have thought that Josh Allen would regress to his rookie year? Come on, he's making the right decisions. He just can't connect with his wide receivers. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen on a football field. How does a guy go from being number 2 in the MVP race to falling out? Like, this guy could potentially be working his team out of the playoffs. But here's the deal. The Chiefs fans should not be worried. They actually should be excited because Andy Reid did something for the very first time in his career. He committed to the run. And the reason why I love it is because when you think about sustained success, teams and people, individuals, you have to forever evolve. And a lot of times, whether it's due to personnel issues or just a mindset, a coach's mindset, philosophy, people never change. They do the same thing over and over again. And Bill Belichick, Tom Brady showed you, like, every single week, you have to take what they're giving you. If they're going to give me the run, we're just going to run it down your throat. If you're going to give me the pass, we'll just throw for 400 yards. So seeing Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes commit to the run and get it done the way they did is so scary. And then you insert Le'Veon Bell. The NFL should be on notice, Wilds.
All right, but hang on. I want to jump here 1 second because you mentioned Josh Allen, and I think we should talk about what has happened to what some would say was a MVP candidate just a couple weeks ago. He did not look like it last night. Completed 14 of his 27 attempts, only 122 yards. Where was the guy we saw the first 4 weeks of the season? Here's Josh Allen after last night's loss.
We weren't good enough. I was not good enough. I got to do a better job. It's plain and simple. I didn't play very good tonight. I know that. I understand that. I can't afford, this team can't afford to have me play poorly.
All right, Brandon. So, again, we heard faint sounds of MVP associated with this name a couple weeks ago. You still hear any of that chatter surrounding Josh Allen moving forward now?
Look, so one of the things I learned, like being in the NFL, you learn so much, so many life skills. And one of the things is how you deal with the media. So when you have a bad game or you do something bad off the field, what they teach you to do is get ahead of it, right? So Nick wants to crush me. He wants to tell me about everything I said bad about the Chiefs and, you know, how I was standing on the table with Josh Allen. Here's the deal. Josh Allen did something in 2 games back-to-back that it took Aaron Rodgers to do in one time in 10 years. Like, this is bad what's happening with him. You have to ask yourself, is he dealing with some type of injury? Because you can't go from progressing so nicely in the first 2 years and then the first 4 games of the season to playing the way you did the last 2 games. He is playing into it. Everyone said coming out that he is inaccurate. He can't throw. He's a great thrower, but he's not a great passer. And you heard Troy Aikman talk about this last night. So for that reason, I got to take him out of the discussion. You know who I'm going to insert into the discussion right now? And I think I can do this because it's not halfway through the year. Henry, that running back. How about that? Let's put him in. I got some people talk about, oh, Ryan Tannehill. No, Ryan Tannehill had his opportunity last year. I'm going to insert Derrick Henry and take out Josh Allen.
Well, at least Derrick Henry's not a laughable candidate the way Josh Allen was. Listen, folks, I got good news for Josh Allen fans. He's going to look great Sunday because they play the Jets. So they'll get a win, he'll look great, and people can say, it was just 2 bad games. But it's not just 2 bad games. What's more accurate is it's 4 really good games in a 2.5-year career. And this is, listen, Wilds, you saw the difference last night on display between a great, true MVP quarterback and a flavor of the month, which was you had one defense do everything they could, build their entire game plan around stopping an MVP quarterback. And he still had a 125 rating, couple touchdowns, and over 200 yards passing. You had another defense say, we dare you to beat us, faux MVP. And homeboy had 66 yards through 53 minutes of this football game. So, like, I don't blame Wild's Josh Allen for being Josh Allen. I do blame some of my brethren for pretending he could lead the Bills to a Super Bowl or, God forbid, be an MVP, because that was never, ever going to be the case.
That's right. The Josh Allen bubble burst. And, Brandon, I hate to say it, you bought a lot of, like, what were those little stuffed animals? What were they called? And everyone, Beanie Babies. Brandon, was like, I spent $10,000 on Beanie Babies. That was Josh Allen the other day. So you tried to do a blind reveal of Mahomes versus Josh Allen. So I'll give you a hint, Brandon. One of these guys is Josh Allen. Who's the other one? Jeopardy music. Oh, it's Sam Darnold. Captain of the worst worst offense in the NFL. Brandon, this is the problem with small sample sizes. Everyone wanted to put Josh Allen in the MVP conversation. I wasn't letting him into the MVP club. I think we got a little ahead of ourselves. He's a fine quarterback, but we just need to pump the brakes on the MVP talk.
No. Yeah, I mean, obviously after the last 2 games, but what he did through the first 4 games is what Patrick Mahomes did through his first 4 games in 2018 when he won the MVP. Okay. So anybody who was on that train, it was a lot of validity behind it. A lot of validity behind it.
And that train just crashed. It's on fire.
We were lucky enough to get a second game last night. Cowboys and Cardinals. This was all Arizona from the word go.
No.
How about this? Zeke fumbling twice in the first half, paving the way for the Cardinals to go up 21-0 before the break. Andy Dalton threw 2 second-half picks to kill any chance of a Cowboys comeback. So who's to blame for last night's loss? Ezekiel Elliott raising his hand after this one.
Honestly, I don't think it really was much of what they did. I think it was me. I'm supposed to be a guy this team can rely on. I'm supposed to be a guy that this team can lean on when times get rough, and I just wasn't that today. I got us started off to a terrible start. The defense they were playing well, but I killed our momentum. 2 fumbles. I can't do that. I can't.
Brandon, is it fair for Zeke to pin last night's loss squarely on his shoulders?
Absolutely. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. That's his job. When you have a great game and the team wins, you deflect praise. When you lose, You take all the blame. That's what you're supposed to do. So I love hearing that from Zeke, but I'm tired of seeing him put the ball on the turf more than anybody in the NFL. You can't do this when your team is depending on you and you got a defense on the other side who can't stop a simple go route, a simple post route. They don't understand their assignments. You have effort issues. Ezekiel Elliott needs to stand up. Well, no, he doesn't even stand up. He needs to put two hands over the ball. Job security. Okay? Job security is everything. You got to protect yourself here. So for me, it's the same story. We talked about this in week 1, the overreactions. I said, all right, yeah, they turned the ball over. Defensively, I can't see that continue to happen where they're going to give up these big plays. Let's wait till week 4. Let's see if it's a trend or it's their identity. Right now, this is their identity. They turn the ball over. They give up the big plays. They can't play defense.
Well, not great.
They don't do, listen. The Cowboys don't do anything well, Wilds. They turn the ball over more than anybody in the league. They don't force turnovers. They allow big plays on defense, pardon me, and they're injured. It's just a bad team. They're a bad team that happens to be in a historically bad division, and they're America's most popular team, so they get talked about. But they're not coached well. They don't play well. Their most important players hurt. Their most expensive players are not producing, whether it's DeMarcus Lawrence, Jalen Smith, the offensive line, Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, whomever the hell you want. They seem to have paid the wrong people. They didn't pay the right people. Byron Jones is off in Miami. Dak is still on the franchise tag. Team's a mess. And there's no way Wilds talk about them without being like, yeah, but they might win the division. Congrats. Good for you. You're going to get rolled in the first round of the playoffs by whoever the best wild card team is. Like, that's who the Cowboys are. Rinse, repeat, Wilds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're in the first place. Silver lining.
Saving grace.
They are.
Yeah, they got the same amount of wins as the Denver Broncos
unbelievable.
and the Detroit Lions.
But they're gonna, when they go head-to-head with the Eagles,
they probably
will lose it, Jenna.
win the division. Listen, we got some baseball tonight.
Don't say
Rays
that.
and
The
Dodgers
Eagles
game
are.
1 of the World Series. It's going to be a good one. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Have a great day.
Kershaw.
Undisputed, sir.
Let's do it.